Baby, 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 I'm coming home now. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's been said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it. More importantly, mate, asking for yours. That's right, you. Chelsea women are good, aren't they? My word. Bang, bang. Sam Kerr is an absolute phenom. Go watch her goals. You know what I'm saying. Congratulations to the Chelsea women. Absolutely incredible. But today we're talking about Big Boehly's Blues. Boys, he's got a lot of stuff to sort out. We're all upset about the result yesterday, but there's a lot to do. Chelsea are in limbo. There's players that, unsure what they're doing, not know what they're fighting for. Despite the owner coming in, there's still uncertainty. That can be resolved with new contracts and absolutely new players. We're going to reflect on that today. Settle in, get comfortable. Do consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Just a click away, baby girl and fellas. And please do drop a like, because it is a lovely way of showing how you enjoy the content. And if you want to support the channel, you can do that. By the way, this video is brought to you by SPITCH. Ding, 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 ding. SPITCH is my partner for today. It is a fantasy football that I love playing. It's better than the one you're playing, and I'll tell you why. Because it uses Opta stats, and you can win money. It's also, you can play for free. Don't worry about it. And you don't have to commit for a whole season. You can just hop in on the weekend, show your football knowledge, show you know what's going on, and you're having a lovely time. At the moment, though, it's only available in the UK, which a lot of you are from, but also Germany and Austria. Do click the link down in the description to go check out SPITCH. It's excellent. Click it. Go on, click it now. Or click it, open it, get it ready, watch the video. Go check it out after and sign up. You can win money. You can play managers from around the world, or you can play for free. Wicked. All right, then. We're here, and we're ready to talk about the situation with Chelsea. I'm going to read a couple of articles to reflect with you guys on some information. Boehly Tuchel. Chelsea need a centre-half. We're going to talk about that. For a while, it was him and Virgil van Dijk were being referenced as the two best centre-halves, like elite, big, dominating centre-halves in Europe. He's a little bit older than Van Dijk. He's already north of 30. And, I had reservations when Thiago Silva signed as a 36-year-old, as many did. I was wrong. And guess what? A lot of the time, I can be wrong. I'm just human. But that was also a free transfer, so that was relatively risk-free, whereas someone like Boehly Tuchel will cost money. But first off, let's have a look at this article from Team Talk written by Johnny Whitfield, referencing some situations where, what Todd Boehly is facing. Todd Boehly makes Mount James contract calls as exciting transfer plan outlined. Ooh, prospective new owner. Let's be real, new owner. Todd Boehly and his consortium have reportedly made fresh contracts for Reece James and Mason Mount a priority. The Blues have faced an uncertain few months in the following sanctions from Roman Abramovich, and the situation has affected every aspect of the club. Indeed, key centre-backs like Antonio Rudiger decided to leave for Real Madrid as he grew frustrated waiting for Chelsea. As we know, however, there is light at the end of the tunnel at Stamford Bridge. LA Dodgers chief Boehly is leading a group who have agreed terms. New owner, new opportunities, new era, new life, ladies and gentlemen. And according to the Daily Mail, player contracts will subsequently be on a high investment agenda. Indeed, Boehly, Clear Lake Capital, Mark Walter and Hans-Jörg Wyss are ready to offer James and Mount new deals. The England internationals rose through Chelsea's academy and have become a vital part of the team. Mount's current deal runs out in summer 2024, 2 years left, and he last signed on the dotted line in 2019. James, meanwhile, penned a year later in 2020, therefore it expires in 2025. Right wing-back James has made himself a crucial part of Tuchel's system. Attacking midfielder Mount has 12 goals and assisted 15 in 50 appearances this season. Both crucial, both starters on most of the time. And the thing is, they signed contracts after being championship loanees coming into the first team. Their contracts do not reflect their importance in the team, whatsoever, let alone the fact that they probably both start for England. That is really smart from Boehly. So yeah, and Nick goes on to say Boehly plans key Chelsea talks. The Daily Mail, again, so many reputable publication here being referenced, adds that Boehly will pursue an A-list signing. Woo! Top tier, exciting FIFA vibes. At least one new centre-back. At least, ladies and gentlemen. Levi Colwill might have a big say in this as well. Key transfer mission with Christensen also leaving. Boehly will in fact work on Chelsea's summer spending this week. This week! That's an interesting report. A line for us to react to. He's going to work on Chelsea's summer spending this week. He will first look to meet with Tuchel to get the coach's thoughts. Boehly will also ask transfer chief Marina Granovskaya and technical advisor Petr Cech for advice. Now, they're good for negotiating, but for advice, can we get some new people in for advice? No, everything sounds good, but maybe some new guys in for advice. Possibly. To be honest, Petr Cech identified Mendy, and up until recently, Edouard Mendy has been incroyable. Blues need to get back on track is the next part. Chelsea came into the current season full of optimism following their Champions League triumph last season, and they look firm league title challengers alongside City and Liverpool within the first few weeks of the season. We were top of the league 14, game week 14. Not just the first few weeks, 14! Nearly half the season-ish. And they looked like firm contenders. While developments in Russia and Ukraine have affected Chelsea, yes, but it's no excuse, I think. They can start by winning the FA Cup next weekend. Now, I will feel a lot more confident about that if we can start Sam Kerr up front. Indeed, Chelsea lost to the Reds on penalties. Well, we don't need to reference that. Look, we're going to talk about Koulibaly next, but on that, positive talks with Tukes, Marina, and Big Pete. And spending money. We need to... Clearly, he's like, right, I've got to invest 1.75 billion into the team over X amount of years. Anyway, that's in the contract. Sign the contract, big guy. Let me know if you know that reference. So that's cool, but he's like, I'm not going to spend it all at once. But watching that game against Wolves, knowing that, Rudiger's out the door, knowing that Azpilicueta didn't have a great game and he's the captain, but perhaps his time is setting a little bit and, he wants to go to Barcelona maybe. We saw Boehly's head and hands probably thinking, okay, all right, clearly this is a opportunity to assert ourselves in the market and really make a difference here, because that's kind of what looks like what needs to happen. So we need to replace Antonio Rudiger, and we're going to be citing an article today by Will Freeman in Football.London titled Chelsea handed £30 million Kalidou Koulibaly proposal as Joško Gvardiol transfer decision is made. Gvardiol obviously playing for Leipzig, very, very impressive left-footed defender, very dribbly and ball progressive. Great stats, of course. We've looked at it here on the channel. Go back and have a little, a few vids and you can watch that. But Koulibaly, let's read on and we can talk about this. With the exit of Antonio Rudiger expected to be confirmed in the coming days, Chelsea will be looking towards the summer and who might be a viable option to replace him alongside the Barcelona-bound Andreas Christensen. There are plenty of viable options on the market, okay, fair enough, and the Blues will be eyeing up these options in the coming weeks. The good news for Chelsea is that Thiago Silva is expected to remain at the club. Well, he signed the contract, so yes, alongside with Malang Sarr. Sorry, M pause. You said good news. I mean, don't want to be cruel to the guy, but come on. And Trevor Chalobah. Yeah, that is good news. But more depth will be needed ahead of the season, where more is expected from Chelsea. Two names which have come into the mix to help revitalise the defence are RB Leipzig's Joško Gvardiol. That's probably close to how you pronounce it. And Napoli's Kalidou Koulibaly. The latter is an experienced campaigner and has long since been linked with a move to the Premier League, and the reports in Italian area Napoli suggest that Chelsea have been offered the proposal to sign the 30-year-old to shore up the backline. So he'll be 31 by the time he starts playing next season. The Senegal international has been an impressive part of the Napoli side this season, who have qualified for the Champions League for the first time since 1920. That was probably the last time we were linked to him as well. And of course he knows... Oh, okay, we'll go on. He helped also Senegal win the Africa Cup of Nations in January, and is a defender of serious pedigree, what could be relatively low fee as £30 million. The defender is reported to not be pushing for a move, but is open to the possibility... with a new deal likely should he not leave. Obviously great relationship with Edouard Mendy, plays in front of him for Senegal. Strong leader as well, which is almost certainly exactly what Chelsea would want, what we'd be looking for. A younger, less experienced option called RB Leipzig's left-footed centre-half Gvardiol, who is reported by Goal to be a top priority by the club. He is just 20 years old and linked with the Blues in January following an impressive start to his career, which has included 10 caps for Croatia. Oh, he's so young already. Through the famed Dinamo Zagreb Academy. Of course, you think, well, he looks great, but he's sort of similar profile to Colwill. He's young, he's left-footed. He has got amazing numbers, Gvardiol, and I think he'd be a great signing just from looking at what he's done. But, we should probably stop underestimating the Championship. Like, having a good season in the Championship doesn't mean that much. The Championship is a very competitive level, and it would probably stand up very strong to a lot of European leagues. In fact, maybe even more physical than some. Reece James, Mason Mount came from the Championship. Absolutely no problem. There's plenty of other examples, I'm sure. There is. Mark Gurhey, it's straight into the Premier League. Conor Gallagher, it's plenty of examples there. He was on the field at the Ibrox on Thursday night as the side were beaten by Rangers at the Europa League semi-finals. So... he can't be that good. No, I'm joking. Look, man, in terms of... Gvardiol would be an interesting signing, but he wouldn't be like that statement... The aura of Kalidou Koulibaly would be more of a statement, because people have known about him for years. People have known he's elite, dominating, headstrong, leader-like centre-back for years. And when you've got Antonio Rudiger going out, you might think, okay, well... kind of makes sense in terms of player profile, and maybe the fact he's got that emotional link. I don't know if it's an emotional link, but he's got his countryman behind him in Edouard Mendy. Maybe that's also worth considering, thinking about. You'll be replacing Rudiger with a guy who's a year older than him, and if you think Rudiger it was already, when you're pushing into your 30s. I know people are getting older now in the game, and you look at Thiago Silva, who's incredible. So, but he's a phenom, Thiago Silva. But the point is, when you look at the age profile, it's terms of sustainability and investment and structure and long-term planning, which, of course, now, hopefully, the new version of Chelsea, hopefully a more data-led Chelsea, this is the kind of stuff you've got to consider. But then again, if it is £30 million, that's not that much. And everyone knows he's a good player. I think generally, everyone would say... that's a good signing for Chelsea. Ultimately, like the neutrals would be like, what they signed? There was Kalidou Koulibaly to replace Rudiger. Could do a lot worse than that. 30 million. He's going to be 31 when this season starts. Fair enough. That's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be like this player's going to be with you a decade. And we already know he can play in the league. But then again, just because it seems like a signing makes sense, doesn't always mean it's going to make sense. And we've seen that across the board at Chelsea from back to front. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comment down below. I think there's positive talks to be had. Nice to hear the meetings between, Boehly and Tuchel are set for transfers. And of course, any stories come out, we're going to reflect on them here. So make sure you do come back and check it out. And turn the bell on when you subscribe. Love you lots. See you soon.
So tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me bitch.